If you happen to feel like you may be a little bit dumb or stupid, this video is for you. Yes, that was harsh, I know, but this video is to help you, and I think honesty is the best way to do so. If we don't scrutinize ourselves, then nothing's going to change. I think all of us at some point have experienced the negative experience of somebody insulting us, whether it be a sibling, a teacher perhaps, a fellow classmate, even a coworker, maybe a parent, and they've called you dumb. And if that has gotten to you, this video is going to be perfect for you. I am not here to honestly educate you, but I have some simple ways that you can start immediately that will help you to be less dumb. Just to be clear, I am not calling anybody dumb or stupid. I have no idea who's watching this right now. But if this resonates with you, or, even if you are smart and you just want to sharpen up the tools up here because perhaps constantly scrolling through social media has dumbed you down, because it does that. It has that tendency for sure. You want to sharpen up a bit. This is where you can start. The reason that I'm personally talking about this is because it's not that I ever felt like I wasn't smart or I was stupid or whatever, but majority of my life, the people that I've surrounded myself with, my friends, I ended up in scenarios where everyone was older than me, much older than me. And when people are older than you, they obviously have more life experience. It doesn't always mean that they're smarter, but I liked to spend time with smart and interesting people. And so, as an 18, 19, whatever, growing up, being that age around, women in their late 30s or early 40s, or, men, due to whatever work I had at the time. When I was even just 19, I had my own business and I traveled for work, and I met so many people through that, but I was very young to run my own business. It's not the one that I run now. It was very small. It was actually self-defense product business. Yeah, long story. If you want to hear more about that, please let me know and I will. But through those events, I was the youngest person there always, but I would network with older people all the time. Anyway, often people that are older than you will know more. So I decided it was time to begin to elevate my mind to kind of match their level. Let's start by talking about some things that you can control in your life, because feeling stupid, feeling dumb, feeling like you don't measure up mentally, the thing that you need to know is that you can control a lot of these things. That is a key thing, because you do not have to stay where you're at now. You need to drop the hatred for yourself, and you need to start looking at what you can control that will actually help, or you can suffer in a corner. It's up to you. So let's list some things that you can control in life: your time, your effort, your vision, your habits, your health, your friends, your attitude, your honesty, your humility, your mindset, your network, your integrity, your thoughts, your reactions, your emotions, decisions, expenses, dedication, and perspective. So now that you know that pretty much everything in your life you can control, you can stop feeling bad for yourself that you're struggling right now, because we are going to change that. So the first thing I want you to start doing is observing people. Just observing them, truly taking it in. You may be naturally observant, but I want you to pay attention to people who are either more successful than you, people who are smarter than you, whatever surrounding it may be. And it doesn't matter if it's at work, it doesn't matter if it's at home, it really doesn't matter. Maybe it could even be online, and you listen to these people talk about these subjects that they're interested in. Listen to how many details they put into it. How do they know so much? Well, Google. You can either go to the library and rent a book on something, or you can use Google, because you have an answering machine for every single question you could have. You may have to sort through some nonsense, but honestly, you're gonna find an answer to literally almost any question you have, unless it goes against the agenda. They may hide that. The reason that these people know so much about what they're talking about is because they've studied it. No information just airdrops into people's brains. If they're successful, try to observe their mannerisms, who they interact with, how they spend their time. Do you see them playing on their phone all the time, or do you see them reading? What do you see them doing? Observe that and just take it in. Next is an obvious one, but you need to ask questions. Of course, there are many circumstances where asking a question may make you look a little bit less smart than you're going for, but to be honest, in most circumstances, unless you're at a networking event, maybe even that would be fine, but, or you're at a fancy dinner and you have to impress somebody says something, they talk about something that you don't know, it's okay and you should ask questions. Just try to frame it in a way that doesn't make you look like a little kid, just say, I'm curious to hear more elaboration on this XYZ that you're talking about. I've always wondered about that. And when they answer your question, oftentimes people will be happy to explain whatever it is that they're talking about. People like hearing their own voice, but take it easy, be selective on what you ask. I feel like the dopamine hits from being on social media all day for most people, it kind of messes with your brain, so you can hear people talk and not deeply comprehend what they're saying. You don't want to annoy people and become a nuisance and a pain in their side, because that happens if you don't stop asking questions. But here and there, you hear something interesting, you can ask more about it. And when they tell you, please be gracious when they tell you something you don't know. Look it up, you'll be able to find it out for free on your phone. It's not that hard. And when you ask questions and when you seek answers to questions, whatever method you take, you're going to become smarter. The next thing you need to do is to spend time with smart people. Stop listening to like YouTubers or watching TV shows where people are just foolish, and even if it's entertaining, if they're talking in such a stupid manner, you're going to pick up on it and it's going to dumb your brain down. I know it sucks, but that's the truth. It does influence you. If you can spend time with mature, smart people instead of hanging out with your trashy friends that just want to get drunk every single time you hang out and not talk about anything intellectual or deep. They just want to burn their brain, completely put a fog in there because they hate their existence. That is going to make you dumber to be around, because you're going to sacrifice your intellect when you spend too much time around people like that. But it's also, what you're consuming, what you're listening to. Too much pop culture drama, too much gossiping about nothing, this and that. You're not filling your brain with things that are going to actually grow into ideas and inspire you. It's simply just information you receive. There's nothing you can do with it, and it's just filling up your mind. Which brings me to my next point, which is to learn to be alone and to really start thinking in silence, in solitude, without a podcast playing, without music playing, is so important for your brain to actually fix your life, fix problems. You can actually combine this with something else that will help your mental health, which will in kind help your intellect, in my opinion, even though a lot of intellectual people are mad. But I think taking walks and exercising gently, and that is a great time to have silence if possible, if you're not in such a crowded area, and really just think and not have anything playing. But you could also be alone in your room. Try not to do this right before bed though, as you're falling asleep, because you may not actually fall asleep. But when you have all this information that you've taught yourself, you've learned and you studied through the day, being alone in silence with nothing else to stimulate you, maybe a walk is fine, right? But to categorize it in your mind and prepare it for application in the future and discussion. So that is a very important thing to do. And I think a lot of us don't do it, because as soon as we have a quiet moment, we fill it with noise, we fill it with a podcast or this or that. So the last thing that's going to help you just stop being so stupid and dumb, I'm just joking, but no, the last thing is you need to expand your horizons. You need to try new things. Don't just stay in your comfort zone. This is a very obvious thing, but I think we need a reminder of what that looks like. So honestly, pick something, pick a genre: history, geopolitics, gardening. You're tired after a long work week, so you don't feel like going out, but you have an opportunity to go out and pick the brain of a smart or interesting person. Do it anyway. You get invited to go skiing. You've never skied before. You're scared. Think about the experiences you're going to get from that. Think about traveling. Let's say you're trying to save your money for this or that. That's great, but also I'm going to give you some irresponsible advice here. You should travel anyway. You should spend your money on experiences that are new, that will enrich your mind, inspire you and drive you and show you different people and different ways of life that are better than what you have, more than what you have. Or you could just stay exactly where you are right now. Because sometimes just sitting at home, going to work, repeating the same cycle over and over, watching YouTube videos, trying to read motivational books, it's not enough. You need to actually get out there. Yeah, so there's so many things you can do to get out of your comfort zone, but those are just a few, and it's just a little reminder of what that may look like. So I hope today's video helped you to realize that if you feel like a dummy, you don't have to be a dummy. You don't have to stay that way. You can improve yourself. These are the simple steps that you take to start on that path. If you want more specific details, just take it one category at a time. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments. Thank you all for watching today. And by the way, thank you for everyone who joined my live stream the other day. That was fun. That was my first one, so it was total amateur hour trying to read all those comments. I was surprised at how many comments there were. That was so fun. Yeah, try to keep up with all of them. And I will do it again if you all liked that. And I'll continue with my regular content though, because I know that's why people came to my channel. It's just fun to do something a little less filtered once in a while. It's fun to do something less edited, you know how it is, a little less polished. I don't have to take 5 to 10 hours to make a live stream when it takes about that much time to make each video. So, all right. Thank you again for watching today, and I will see you all in my next video.